The title of my painting is Colors for a Large Wall by Ellsworth Kelly, painted in 1951. The reason why I chose this painting, we use it when we're teaching percents, decimals, and fractions in my class. We figure out the percent of each of the hues in this painting, and it was a lesson I found on the internet connecting masterpieces with mathematics. So as you look at this painting, what comes to your mind? This is what came to my mind. First of all, it's an 8 by 8 grid. It has 64 panels. It displays a type of mathematical system. The reason that Ellsworth put the colors just randomly on this painting, he wanted to prove that any color can go beside any color. You didn't have to go according to a color chart. It's a very simple painting. He loves bright colors, and you can see the bright colors in the painting as well as dark. The white I'll explain here on the next slide. This was a radical painting for the time period. It was a liberating piece for him, and it was a way to express freedom. Originally, Ellsworth was working on the spectrum colors arranged by chance, which were 8 collages, and he went to an art store and he picked up several color papers and had a system that he arranged. Once he was done with the spectrum colors, he decided that he wanted to do something with these leftover pieces, and so he made some smaller collages. Thus, he had colors for a large wall. What he did was to match each hue according to the paper that he had placed. But he ran out of paper, so where the white was, that was basically, it didn't have any color. The inspiration for this piece came from when Ellsworth was working and studying in France. After World War II, on the GI Bill, he went to France. The European artists at that time were using colors of spectrum to full intensity. So he actually brought back this idea when he was in New York painting. He wanted to show what you could do with color. At the time, our abstract expressionists were mixing colors instead of using the bright colors. So it wasn't until the 1960s when the pop artists brought back the bright colors. However, Ellsworth, in a way, was one of the first pop artists because he continued to paint using those bright colors. While I was doing my research, I came across a YouTube video where Ellsworth Kelly was being interviewed when he was in Switzerland at a museum showing his pieces. And he just really is a sweet old man. So these are some ideas I got from his interview. He said he began doing abstraction about the age of 25, and with abstraction, things change, and it continues to change. And the interviewer said, mentioned something about how war had influenced his work. And he mentioned something about the Iraqi War, which is a painting he was shown that was black and white. And this was his reaction to conflict and controversy. And it was a statement or comment on the war. But he wanted to make a point that he doesn't really consider himself a political artist, and he really loves color. When he was a small boy, he said he was very ill, and his mother brought him several books that were very colorful. And so he's always loved color since, and he's always interested in nature, especially birds. The bright colors you see in birds kind of made me think of spring when the males have all their bright colors of bright reds and bright yellows. And he said you can really see color in nature. And he says he wants his paintings to have good spirits. Just makes you think that he's just such a kind man. And he began coloring. He began his colors on panels, and he has continued to use panels in his paints. And he said that panels on panels depicts real life. An interesting comment. So I'm ending my piece with what do you see or feel when you look at Ellsworth painting?